Well, good morning and afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is the first webinar that we're putting on to talk about the benefits of managed travel. My name is Tim Hay, and I'm a Cooperative Development Coordinator with NASPO Value Point. And we actually have two organizations today that have had a part in putting this presentation together, NASPO Value Point and the State Travel Managers Alliance, and we will talk about both of those organizations in just a little bit. We hope that you get a lot out of this webinar today. We're doing this to educate the states on the benefits of having a managed travel program in their states, and we're also available to answer any questions at the end of the presentation. So today's agenda is we'll talk about, like I said, a brief overview of who NASPO Value Point is and who the State Travel Managers Alliance is. And then we'll talk about some specific aspects of a state-managed travel program. We'll talk about the duty of care. We'll talk about savings, reporting requirements. We'll also talk about the NASPO Value Point travel agreements that we have in place. And also, we'll take a Q&A at the very end of the presentation. So as I mentioned in the precursor, as you have questions that come up throughout the presentation, use the chat function on your screen, and we will reconcile all those questions, and we'll address those questions at the end. I'd like to introduce today's presenters. My name is Tim Hay, and I'm with NASPO Value Point, and I am a Cooperative Development Coordinator that provides support to the travel services sourcing team on NASPO Value Point, and I'm also the liaison with the State Travel Managers Alliance as well. Catherine DeMarco is with the state of West Virginia, and she is the State Travel Manager there. Stacy Jo Winters is also with the State of, or Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and she's the State Travel Manager. Tami Nelson with the State of Utah is the Travel Manager as well. And then Josh Hardage with the State of Oregon. He's the state lead for NASPO Value Point. He leads the NASPO Value Point agreements for NASPO Value Point. So just a quick overview of who the two organizations are. NASPO Value Point is the official cooperative purchasing arm of NASPO. And if for those in the procurement side, if you ever heard of WSCA or WSCA NASPO, we are in a sense the same organization, just with a different name. We were founded in 1992 by a group of procurement officials from at a Western Region NASPO conference, and they started to do cooperative purchasing together. And over the years, the NASPO Value Point has become one of the most successful governmental cooperative purchasing programs in the United States. We're the largest by far out of all the cooperative organizations. The State Travel Managers Alliance is a group of state travel managers that formed this alliance back in 2004 at a Society of Government Travel Professionals conference. And their primary focus was to provide education to states on promoting the benefits of having a managed travel program. Believe it or not, even though there's about $4 billion spent annually on government travel for state employees, there's only a small handful of states that actually have a managed travel program in place. So the efforts of the State Travel Managers Alliance is to basically educate and promote the benefits of having a managed travel program and helping states capture some of those savings. And we're hoping today with this presentation you'll be able to learn the aspects of how a state travel managed program works and the benefits that you can receive from that. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter, Catherine DeMarco with the State of West Virginia, and she's going to talk about the responsibilities and duty of care. So Catherine, take it away.
Hello, everyone. In this presentation, I will cover duty of care and how it relates to travel risk management. So we'll talk about what is duty of care, why should you care, training, pre-trip, track employees, security service, medical service hotline. It's one of the most significant issues facing today's travelers. The first point is to clarify the legal definition. Duty of care is an organization's legal, ethical, and social obligation to protect the health and safety of its travelers. The agency should take all steps to ensure travelers their health, safety, and well-being. This extends to hotels, airlines, rental vehicles, and ground transportation. Organizations should be doing something to protect their customers. If not, they can be held liable. You should take steps to ensure the company has understanding and technology to know the location of its employees while traveling. Educate employees around risks to personal safety and security before they travel. Be able to communicate with employees and provide assistance at all times, especially in an emergency. Why should you care? Travel is inherently risky because it places employees in unfamiliar environments. For example, standing out from the local population, driving in unfamiliar locations and conditions, not being familiar with local health risks and medical facilities, and do not speak the language of the country. It's legally possible for the state to bring a claim if the agency is deemed negligent for death or serious injury to the employee. For example, a jury awarded a student millions in damages after she contracted encephalitis from a tick bite on a trip. But it goes beyond that. Our agency was able to contact and provide travel assistance to all our travelers during the 9/11 attack. They were able to assist them to get home via bus, car, train, or whatever means available. Pre-trip policy and compliance. The agency should know the client's travel rules. Pre-trip planning, providing information and assistance, documents, visas. Health plan and vaccinations. Checking CDC for any health advisories or custom information, and communication, like an alert app with flight info and international services. Track employees, employee profiles, keeping them current, updating them regularly. Data warehousing, real-time alerting, using apps used to make travelers aware of any situation. Security services can include executive protection, escorts, guards, and plans for an evacuation. Medical services. Agencies should provide travel insurance. What would you do if you had a sudden health issue while traveling? Would you know which doctor or hospital to go to? Would you know the local language to inform them of your issue? Expenses such as airlifts for evacuation and medically equipped flights back home, and oftentimes they will transport you to the hospital of your choice for care. Emergency assistance should include a 24/7 hotline, one call for any issue, and a company-specific protocol. Now that you understand the importance of duty of care and how it's defined by both social and legal opinions, you'll probably see your approach in a whole new light.
Thank you, Catherine. So as you hear, there's a lot of responsibility for states to take care of their travelers and to ensure that their employees are safe while they travel and to know where their travelers are in the event of emergency. Before I switch over to Stacy Joe, just an experience I had when I was managing the travel desk for the state of Oregon, and when 9/11 happened, right, even before I got to work, the travel agency had already done a complete reconciliation of all of the state of Oregon travelers and was able to provide me a list of where everybody was at so we could work on getting them home, and they were also able to tell me confidently that no state of Oregon traveler was on one of those 4 planes that went down. So the duty of care is a very big aspect that states need to consider when it comes to putting together a managed travel program. With that, savings is also another big aspect, and Stacy Jo Withers from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is going to talk with us about that. So Stacy, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here today to talk to you about travel savings of a managed travel program. So the agenda and the items I want to discuss today is actually starting by asking a couple of questions. How much does your state or agency spend on travel? How much time are your staff spending researching travel prices? What is your data analysis and the management of your data? You can improve efficiency. We're going to talk about travel payments and rebates, ticket tracking, frequent flyer accounts, and preferred hotel programs where you can enjoy a revenue share. So let's talk about your travel spend. Do you know how much your agency or your state is spending annually on travel? Or do you know how much your agency earns in travel rebates? How much your agency might save in negotiated rates? If you can't answer those three questions, then you really can't answer the last. How can you reduce your travel spend if you don't know what it is? So one of the important factors of looking at travel savings is the whole picture, and your staff time is money. Do you know how much time your staff might be scouring different websites looking for the best price for one of either their own travel, or maybe they are a travel arranger for someone within the agency? What happens when they've scoured the websites, they've found finally a price that they like, and they purchase what they think is maybe a hold on a piece of travel, but they've really actually authorized full payment on a credit card and it's not refundable? What happens when that traveler needs to cancel? Where does your staff find travel policy and procedures, and do you have one in place, a set, clear policy? Data analysis and management. With a managed travel program, you can provide the data analysis needed. You have the reporting capabilities by day, week, month, or year, or even a year-to-year comparison of your travel spend. And you can break it down detailed by what is our air spend, car, hotel, and break it by individual travelers or departments, agencies, by the state in a whole. And then also run destination reports, which ties back to the first part of duty of care, that you should be able to, from your system, run a report to know exactly where everyone is at any given moment in case of a disaster. Improving efficiency. If you have a managed travel program and all of your travelers are utilizing the same travel management company, known as a TMC, and they're making their reservations by phone or by an online booking engine, you will improve efficiency and save a lot of time of your staff members. Also, this TMC is taking your policy, your written policy, and able to enforce that onto your travelers. And then we also have mobile technology, which is becoming the hot topic. I know with a lot of states and a lot of agencies, it will only improve efficiency and provide your travelers now with, right at their fingertips, travel policies, procedures, mobile booking capabilities, even all the way into reimbursement, scanning of receipts, and actually from their phone doing their travel expense reports. So now we're going to get into travel payments and rebates. And you can earn rebates through a purchasing card provider for accounts. Maybe you're setting up separate purchasing cards for all of your airline travel, your hotel travel, and also for your individual travelers that are traveling more than a few times a year. Through those contracts, you would be able to negotiate and have some type of a rebate sent back to your agency for the use of the cards. Preferred vendor contracts, like a car rental contract made directly with a car rental, also can negotiate some type of a rebate back to the agency or the state, and also adding value benefits like collision damage waiver, a CDW policy, to protect against liability. You can also look at preferred city pair agreements for airlines, and that's where they offer discounts or to corporate frequent flyer accounts that go, The preferred city pair agreements are discounted rates when you're traveling in certain city pairs and you contract directly with airlines. And then there's also corporate frequent flyer accounts, which we'll get into on the next slide, and preferred hotel programs that receive rebates, and that'll be a couple slides ahead here. So let's talk about ticket tracking and frequent flyer accounts. When you're using a TMC and that travel management company is making the reservations and booking all of your airlines sales, the agency or the state ultimately owns that airline ticket, where if your travelers are allowed to purchase on any website and they do not travel, even though they might be reimbursed for that ticket, they've canceled their flight and now they own the ticket. So being able to manage your air spend is running all of your tickets through one TMC. Because the tickets can be tracked, and unused tickets may possibly be applied to other travelers within your agency or your state when you have that situation that I just talked about. A traveler buys an airline ticket and now they might leave employment, can't travel. That ticket could conceivably be transferred on to another one of your travelers since you were the ultimate purchaser of that ticket. It's also about clout. So fees that are applied by airlines might be waived based on the volume. They set up special help desks for the larger TMCs, and they can accommodate special requests when needed, certain seat assignments, again, waive those fees, help process name changes. It's all based on the volume of your TMC and the volume of your account, which will allow you to get more perks that would not be out there for the individual consumer just logging onto one website buying one airline ticket. Ticket tracking and frequent flyer accounts, some more information. Now, some airlines offer frequent flyer corporate accounts. So points can be earned towards free travel for the agency, which they still allow the individual traveler, if allowed by their set travel policy, to earn their own personal frequent flyer miles that they're used to. So they're earning their miles, the agency's earning corporate miles, and then those corporate miles add up like any frequent flyer account, and those points can be used for free tickets for your agency, of course, going with the highest price ticket when you cash in. There's also city pair agreements with airlines, as we talked about before, or the NASPO, the Value Point Southwest Agreement. And lastly, we're going to talk about the preferred hotel programs that a lot of agencies and states run. When we look at the figures, most states do about 90% of their hotel business within their own state. And preferred hotel programs can be established to reduce the travel spend. In the Commonwealth here, that's what we do call our program, the preferred hotel program. It can come in different names, but the process is about the same. Your travel management company and your state travel manager works with selecting hotels through a solicitation process, and you negotiate out GSA maximum or lower rates for your travelers. The hotels agree to the standard, the industry commission of 10%, and this revenue can be streamed back from your TMC back to your agency or your state. And the reason that hotels will sign up and pay that standard commission of 10% back to the travel agency is because you guarantee that you're going to maximize their realized room nights and therefore handle your government travelers correctly with needs such as possible tax-exempt status, the process there. Many agencies and states have ghost credit card programs. They handle that. And you also do not send your hotel business to a non-preferred hotel. You want them to maximize their nights. And that's what I have on travel savings.
Well, thank you, Stacy Jo. And just a reminder for those attending today, as you have questions that come up during this presentation, use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask those questions, and we will address all of the questions at the end of the presentation. The next item we want to talk about is travel reporting. Believe it or not, a lot of states may not have the ability to answer to the legislator how many trips an agency may have taken in 1 year because they don't have a managed travel program. Well, if you had a managed travel program using a TMC, you would have access to a plethora of reports. And Tami Nelson from the state of Utah is going to talk about that now. So Tami, it's all yours.
Hello, everyone. Having a managed travel program, as Tim stated, will enable states and agencies to capture a lot of important data, such as the reports listed here on this following slide. Only states and agencies with a managed travel program that include a contracted travel agency will have the ability to access these types of reports. I will show examples of these reports that I have access to through my contracted travel agency and discuss the relevance and importance of each one. With an airline activity report, you can get a snapshot of the volume being booked on each airline. You can use this report to track adherence to contracts and policies that you have put in place. This will also give you the information you need to negotiate contracts with airlines. With an airline market share report, you'll be able to see the cities that your travelers fly to the most often. This, once again, will give you the information you need to negotiate good contracted rates to your high-volume cities. With this type of rental car report, you can track your dollar spend with each company. Here in Utah, we currently participate in the NASPO Value Point contracts with Enterprise, National, and Hertz. We mandate their use unless they are not available. Utilizing this report, it will show me that our travelers are obeying our contracts and policies and doing what they're supposed to be doing. With this type of hotel report, I can see where my travelers are staying at the most and also the average booked rate. This helps with ongoing hotel negotiations as well as ensuring our travelers are staying within our allowable per diem rates. And with the reports I've talked about so far, you are able to drill those down even more and to get more detailed information such as right down to the individual traveler, specific cities, exactly how much was spent per transaction. There's just a plethora of information that you can drill it down to get as much data as you need. With this report, the executive summary report, I really like this in that this one will give you an overall snapshot of your spend for airline tickets, service fees, cars and hotels, as well as the average ticket price and your savings. It just gives you a one-stop shop. It's a really good report that you can present to the legislature or your director or even the governor's office to give them a snapshot look of what's going on with your travel spend. And as previously discussed, unused ticket tracking is very important. This type of report will show you all of the detailed information for each ticket, including the value of the ticket and when the ticket is set to expire. Our contracted travel agency, as well as many others, also has a program built into their reservation system that will alert them if they book a trip for one of the travelers on the list. If they choose not to use any of the unused tickets that are available for that person, they must put in a reason code, and that's tracked. A reason code could be like they're booking on one airline, but the unused ticket was for a different airline, so they would just put that it was a different airline. And this report and alert system can essentially save your state and agency a lot of money that would otherwise be lost. Contractor travel agencies charge service fees for various services. Utah gets charged for fees for just airline tickets. With this type of report, you can see the detail of each transaction and the amount of the service fees for each, along with the total spend. And you can do this per day, for a month, for a week, for a year. You can really get a snapshot of how much you're spending in service fees. And as Catherine spoke earlier, as part of duty of care, travel managers and planners have access to various security data reports. My contractor travel agency has a proprietary program called Security Logic, which I really like. I am able to map worldwide where my travelers are at any time, and I have access to this program. I log in myself. This program also shows alerts for any problem areas, from natural disasters, storm warnings, civil unrest, all the way down to a traffic problem. This program enables me to send out alerts to my travelers and also sends a check-in request to their smartphone, which would ask them to reply back if they are okay. It's a very user-friendly yet very sophisticated tool that is extremely important in managing your travel program. So as you can see, there are a lot of great reports out there that are accessible to you by having a contracted travel agency. That is all I have.
Well, thank you very much, Tami. And as you can see, as Tami mentioned, there are a number of reports out there that are available for states to access when they set up their own managed travel program. At the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned two organizations, the State Travel Managers Alliance and NASPA Value Point, and how and what each brings to the table. As the State Travel Manager Alliance worked together over the years, they realized that maybe they wanted to do a joint procurement together, bring the states together to do a joint procurement as well as providing the education and outreach and promoting the benefits of a managed travel program. And that's where NASPA Value Point comes in. It was then WSCA, Western States Contracting Alliance, and over the years it changed its name to NASPA Value Point, but the State Travel Managers Alliance approached WSCA then about doing a cooperative contract for a travel-related program, and that program became very successful, and Josh will talk about these in just a few minutes, over the years to where we have now 4 aspects available to states through NASPA Value Point in its travel services program. So I'm going to turn it over to Josh Hardage, who is with the state of Oregon, to talk about those different aspects of the NASPA Value Point travel programs. So Josh, it's all yours.
Well, hello. I'm glad that I'm able to talk to you guys today about the NASPA Value Point travel agreements. So today's agenda for these particular agreements, I'm going to provide a quick overview of the agreements. I'm going to talk about each agreement individually, and then talk about how you access these agreements, and then just give you a little information about the state of Oregon's role as the lead state, and then participating states, how you can participate. So we've got 3 service areas that we offer to states who are interested. We've got vehicle rentals agreements with Enterprise National and Hertz. We have discount airfare agreements with Southwest Airlines, and then we have, as the travel management contractor, CTM, formerly U.S. Travel. So just as an overview, our intention is to provide a one-stop shop solution to set up a managed travel program that supports the state agencies in controlling your spend. So this program doesn't replace any existing individual state lodging programs for in-state lodging, but it further extends those programs to a nationwide level. So really, we want to leverage the combined market share and buying power to maximize discounted service rates and other value and services. This is available to all state agencies and their qualifying political subdivisions. and any public employee can utilize these agreements while on official government travel status. So vehicle rentals, Enterprise National, again, is one of the suppliers. We executed this contract initially October 19, 2009, and our current term expires October 18, 2017. And our current contact for this agreement with Enterprise is Clint Fulcher, and I have his contact information there for you. And then Hertz is our other supplier. Same contract execution time, October 19, 2009, and same expiration, October 18, 2017. And then Sam Crawley is the point person for this agreement, and you can see his contact information as well. So the benefits of vehicle rental, there's unlimited mileage, one-way rentals up to 500 miles at no additional cost. There's free loss, damage, and waiver insurance, free extended liability insurance coverage up to $1 million, emergency roadside assistance, refueling surcharge waived, vehicle licensing fee waived, no energy surcharges, and no underage fees apply, a minimum of 18 years of age. So quick point about average savings. So I had an opportunity to get updated information on what we're saving currently. So I just want to give you some information in terms of what NASPO through these agreements are saving versus average retail prices. So average savings is roughly 50 to 60% for airport rentals and roughly 20 to 25% for off-airport rentals. So it gives you an idea of, through these agreements, what you would see versus if you go to, the rental car agency in your city, not using an agreement. So average discounts for a NASPO value point, these agreements versus a non-NASPO government agreement. So something some state, or these would be agreements some states would have individually. The average savings, NASPO versus non-NASPO government, is 20% on average for airport rentals and roughly 10% for off-airport rentals. So there is a significant savings. Again, it's utilizing the combined market share of the multiple states who are cooperating in this agreement. So we'll talk about discount airfares. So currently we have an agreement with Southwest Airlines. We executed that agreement February 1st, 2013, and that contract expires January 31st, 2017. And Michelle Robinette is currently the contact, and again, you can see that contact information there. So benefits of discount airfares. So discounts on all refundable Business Select and Anytime fares, and these are all negotiated into our current agreement. And currently, the discount is 5% for discount Business Select. Discounts on select non-refundable for the Wanna Getaway fares is 3%. There's no baggage fees for the first two bags. The first two bags are free, and then there's no change fees. So for the lodging program, U.S. Travel is currently, or excuse me, Corporate Travel Management is the company, formerly U.S. Travel. They are supporting our nationwide needs in terms of providing the lodging program services. They, on our behalf, negotiate with the lodging providers throughout the country. And that contract was executed October 16, 2012, and the current expiration is December 31st, 2016. Tony Forte is our contact there, and you can see his contact information. So the benefits of a lodging program, all NASPO rates are at or below GSA per diem. There's over 10,000 locations representing more than 50 brands. 4 p.m. or later day of arrival cancellation policy is included. There's free Wi-Fi, breakfast, and parking available. Last room availability and no blackout dates at most locations. And all state and local government travelers are eligible. So these benefits have been negotiated in. As well as there's preferred lodging partner selection based on best rates, amenities offered, national, regional, and independent brands. They're FEMA certified, and ancillary fees are prohibited. There are environmentally preferred partners that are highlighted, and direct billing and group rates are included, as well as just the ease of use for states who may not have their own lodging program. So for NASPO Value Point, they offer travel management contractor services through corporate travel management. That contract was executed, again, October 16, 2012, and the current expiration is December 31st, 2016. And Tony, again, is the contact for that agreement overall. The benefits of having a travel management contractor, in addition to what the presenters have already discussed as far as those benefits, particularly with this agreement, the NASPO Value Point Travel Center offers discounted rates on travel for all 50 states, cities, counties, universities, and other political qualifying participants under their state's cooperative purchasing programs. They offer access to discounted lodging program, as I discussed, airline program, and the vehicle rental program. They're easy to use hotel online booking with a guaranteed vendor rate. And they provide full reports and data management tools. So what you see here is through the NASPO Value Point Travel Center, you'll see the access point to finding those particular agreements and the hotel program and the TMC, who is the corporate travel management contractor. So you'll, through this website, you'll be able to access all that information. So as Tim had mentioned, State of Oregon is the lead state. We administer this NASPO Value Point, or we administer this agreement on behalf of NASPO Value Point and on behalf of all of the participating states nationwide. I'm currently the contract administrator, so if you have any questions regarding these agreements, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to talk to you.
All
Appreciate
right.
your time.
Thank you very much, Josh. A lot of great information there. And for those states that don't have a managed travel program already in place, as you can see, we already have a lot of the tools in place for you to create your own managed travel program. All of this information that Josh has mentioned is available on the NASPO Value Point website. If you just go to NASPOValuePoint.org and just do a search for travel, all of the agreement information will come up. The URL for the actual travel center itself, it's nvptravel.com. That link is also available on the NASPOValuePoint.org website. It's now 11:40 Pacific time, and we have some time for some questions. We did have a couple of questions regarding about, will the slides be available? And the answer to that question is yes. Both the slides and this recording will be available on two different locations. On the NASPO Value Point website, under each of the travel modules or portfolios, we'll have that information there. And we will also put the link to the slide deck and the recording also on the State Travel Managers Alliance website as well. And that web address is stma.us. The next question is what does FEMA certified mean? And The FEMA certification is a federal requirement that means the hotels have met certain fire safety standards, i.e. any hotels above, I think, either 2 or 3 stories, they all have to have a sprinkler system installed. They have to meet certain fire protection requirements. So that is what FEMA certified means. We certainly do not want any state employee or government employee staying in a hotel that is not safe. There are some exceptions to that. Obviously, historical hotels are exempt from some FEMA certification requirements, but we do require FEMA certification for the properties. We have a time for some more questions, so if anybody wants to quickly type, we can wait here for a couple of minutes. And if not, we'll go ahead and just conclude this webinar today. And I just want to thank the 4 presenters today, Josh, Tami, Catherine, and Stacy Joe. You did a fantastic job. Thank you for your very informative information and insight on this. And I also want to thank everybody for participating on today's webinar. We hope that you found this information beneficial to you and your agency. And as we said earlier, if you're unsure, if you're thinking about wanting to put together a managed travel program and not sure where to start, you can start by visiting either the NASPA Value Point website or the State Travel Managers Alliance website. Either one of those 2 places does have a lot of information available, as well as contact information to reach out to various folks. And with that, I'd like to wish everybody a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you again soon.